Hey everybody, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel. And yet another round of Mansions of Madness 2nd edition. As we continue the Gangs of Arkham scenario. Finn's in a bad spot. He's had a hunting horror just, boom, appear. Because, you know, that's what hunting horrors do. They decide, I want you, and just pop up out of nowhere. So, he's going to be doing some combat this turn. Harvey could assist if he could get there in time. But he won't be able to. If he does 2 move actions, 1-2, and 1-2, he gets in the room, but then can't do anything afterwards. Which makes me think we may... well, okay. Tell you what, we're going to start with Harvey. He's going to do 2 move actions. However, 2, 1. Should I have him stay out there? Because if he goes in here, he's also a target, and he'll at the very least have to do a horror check when the time comes. On the other hand, if he's there when he starts his next turn, he can just start shooting, and he can do 2 attacks. So yeah, it kind of puts Harvey in the line of sight as much as Finn, but we're going to risk it. Okay, so that's Harvey's actions already done. That was fast. Next, Finn is going to try to just shoot this thing. Alright, we're going to attack the hunting horror. It has an HP of 6, so we just choose attack and see what it says. Right, we are choosing a firearm, because, yes, Finn does have the .38 revolver. Your weapon erupts as every fiber of your being pulls to be away from the terrible creature. Oh, that's interesting. We're going to test his... Yeah, I'm going to test his agility +2. I've never seen that in the app before. It's never had a plus like that. And yeah, that's just... We're just going to... there's no fail effect. It's just however much we do, we do. Okay, well, his agility is 3 +2, so he's going to roll all 5 dice. Come on, Finn. That's pretty good. Got 2 successes. Well, I want to make sure this thing dies as fast as possible, so we're going to use Finn's 1 clue to make it 3. Because, yes, every impact brings you hope that you will soon be free of the beast. The monster suffers damage equal to your test results. So we are going to do a 1, 2, 3. And continue. Then we're going to attack with a firearm again. Okay, this is more like what I expect. In one swift motion, you raise your weapon and fire. Unwilling to waste a moment, you let instinct guide your aim. Gonna test his agility, and we need 2 successes. Oh, I probably should have saved the clue for this, but it wasn't to know. Yeah, I should have saved the clue for this. If you pass, no. If you fail, your impulse to fire takes over long before the weapon is properly trained, and your shots strike the ground. Well, unfortunately, that will conclude Finn's turn, so yes, we're going to have to deal with this thing one more round. But before we move into that, and its inevitable counterattack during the Mythos phase, we're going to see what Min is up to over on the other side of town. Okay, while Finn and Harvey are not in an ideal situation, I suspect they will have it under control soon. There's not much point in having Min backtrack. I think by the time she gets there, the horror will probably be down. She can't even 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she can only make it to just outside the printing press room. Excuse me. So we're just going to have her continue doing a little bit of investigating. We were interested in checking out the chapel there. So for her first action, yes, this door to a small chapel has a large wooden cross hung above it. Explore. This building houses a quaint chapel with a few rows of pews and a modest altar. The space is lit only by candlelight from sconces placed at regular intervals along the walls. We will be placing the chapel tile. Alright, there we are, the chapel, and now a kindly looking man. Okay, there we are. Kindly looking man in his 50s is busy arranging items on the altar. He wears a troubled, weary expression. This is Father Paul, the parish priest. And a pew could be moved to block a door should the need arise. So we've got a potential barricade there. Oh, an emergency light source rests in an alcove near the front door. Place the candles, common item. Candle, there we are, candles, over in this corner. You may move one space into the explored area. Well, her second action, she can't get to Father Paul and speak to him this turn. So for her second action, we may as well just pick up those candles. It's a light source, so if we ever end up in the dark, she's good. Is that focusing? I can't tell. You may discard this card to convert all clues to successes while casting a spell. So we don't want to give that to Harvey, I guess, because he is the only person who has a spell. Okay, that is it for our investigator phase. Now into the dreaded mythos phase. Alright, here we go. We're going to have anything besides the monster attack, because we know we'll have that. Oh. Uh-oh. A sound of shouting and gunfire comes from inside the warehouse. After a few moments, it stops and an eerie silence falls over the area. Each investigator suffers 2 horror. Oh no, we are shocked and terrified by the gunfire. Okay, well, let's start with Min, because she's closest. And yes, this is unfortunately not face down. This is just straight up horror. So, minor shock. Your heart races and your breath catches in your throat. No additional effect. Flip the card face down. So she just has straight up 1 horror, and the other one is also a minor shock. Okay, so Min's okay. Alright, well, let's do Finn next. Oh, he got a minor shock. I swear I've shuffled this. And, oh, frayed nerves. Oh, let me put that down in this area. Okay, you breathe deeply, but it fails to restore your calm. You feel as if the slightest thing will push you over the edge. Yeah, the hunting horror. Keep face up. Roll 1 fewer die when resolving a will test. Okay, that's too bad. And Harvey will suffer 2. A calculia. You cannot seem to put the letters or numbers in their proper order. You know you had the skill once, but it has deserted you. Keep face up. Roll 1 fewer die. 1 fewer die. Yeah. 1 fewer die. Should that be dice? Anyway. Yeah, roll 1 fewer die, singular. While resolving a lore test. That's too bad, because these are spell guy. And, oh, and he got a minor shock, so this one will stay face down. Okay. Now, well, I anticipate, yes, the hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with the lowest agility. That'll be Harvey, because he's got 2, so it's going to move here, and it's going to attack Harvey. I was afraid of this. The creature coils one of its myriad appendages around you. Strength test, of course. And we need 2 successes. Harvey has 3. He does have 1 clue. So maybe... See that well enough? Yeah. Okay, well, he's going to use that clue. Let's, that clue goes away back into the pile. And choomp. Turns that into a success. If you pass, you manage to force your way free of its writhing grip. And now, yes, both Finn and Harvey are going to have to do a horror check because they are in range of the hunting horror. Confirm. The creature lands and flexes, releasing a cloud of spore-like particles. An acrid aroma like vinegar hits your throat as you struggle to breathe. We're going to test strength, and we need 2 successes again. Harvey might be in trouble. Actually, they might both be in trouble because they both have 3 strength and no more clues. Alright. Finn? Nope. If you fail, you double over with nausea, suffer 2 horror, and become stunned. Oh, things are going to start going downhill, aren't they? Okay, so 2 more. Horror. Fervor. Adversity only stokes the fire of your resolve to make things right again, no matter what. Become righteous. Then flip this card face down. Well, that's at least he's going to get a little something out of this. Let me just find... Righteous is a new thing with the Streets of Arkham expansion. What does that do? Once per round, you may convert a clue to a success. Okay, and when you suffer 1 or more horror, discard this card. Okay, so that hangs around with us until we take... Now this doesn't count because this is the same horror. This is all happening simultaneously. And that was a minor shock. Unfortunately, it puts Finn down to 2 sanity. I think he's, yeah, going to be in trouble there. And he is also stunned. You cannot perform more than a single action during your turn. At the end of your turn, discard this card. Ugh, not good. Okay, now it's Harvey's turn to deal with that horror effect. He did not pass. He only got 1, and he's used up his clue. So he's going to suffer 2 more horror. I mean, he's fine. He's got 9 horror total. Paranoia. Oh, you find yourself imagining all the ways your friends could hurt you. Whenever you end your turn within range of another investigator, flip 1 horror face up. Well, the only one we have face down right now is the minor shock, so that's okay, but this is squeamish. Even the sight of blood turns your stomach. After you perform an attack action, flip 1 horror face up. Well, again, our 1 face down horror is just a minor shock, so he can safely do stuff. And that is going to end the Mythos phase. Man, that went very poorly for our guys, who have got little choice but to try to attack, try to attack the hunting horror again. So on to the next investigator phase. Oh, and I forgot, Harvey also is stunned from the horror check. Oh, this is terrible. Okay. I'm actually going to have Harvey, he's only going to be able to do 1 action. Yeah, I'm going to have him go first, because if he's successful, That means Finn can, what I really wanted to do this time was start looking at the old journal and the photographic evidence. So if Harvey is successful, yay. If not, I think Finn can probably finish it off. So we will be attacking the hunting horror again. Still, yeah, they both have firearms. So Harvey, you fire at the creature, but it moves and jerks, causing your shots to miss. You take a knee. Harvey, no, you should not be taking a knee at your age. Carefully sight down the barrel of your weapon and fire again. We're going to test his agility of 2, and we need 2 successes. Got nothing that is going to help. Nope. If you fail, your shot misses like the others. Okay, well, that is the end. Oh, right, because he took an attack action, this turns over, but it turns back because it's just a minor. His stunt goes away. Oop, knocking cards over. Which leaves Finn, who is also going to try to attack with his firearm. And the creature's erratic movements are difficult to track. Same skill check. Rolling his agility. And we need 2 successes. Gotta remember he's righteous, so once per round he can just change. Like he's got a free clue, but it won't be enough. Oh my god. I think Finn might go insane, because he's going to have to do a horror check during the Mythos phase, and he's got 2 sanity left. He's going to be bonkers. Okay, if you fail, your shots fly wide. Well, at least he's not stunned anymore. Although I suspect he will become stunned, because that's just the way this combat is going. Okay. That is it for the guys. They totally, utterly whiffed. Good job. So, let's see what Min can do over in the chapel. Okay, well, Min is probably not partial to barging into the warehouse where the gunshots are coming from, and she's on a little mini-mission here anyway, to speak to Father Paul, see if we can get any info out of him. I'm beginning to think it might be Alice. Alice has got like a spell or a totem or something that she's trying to destroy the 2 gangs. Anyway, let's do a little more investigating. So, first action for Min is move. She'll still have a move point to use after, but now, for her second action, she will talk to Father Paul. What can I do for you, child? Father Paul asks. Okay, our options are, what do you know about last night's murder? You seem troubled, Father. And bless me, Father, for I have sinned. We don't really have time for confessions here. Yeah, we're just going to have to ask outright, what do you know about last night's murder? Or do we want to ease our way in slightly with you seem troubled, Father? Actually, if he's troubled, it's probably about stuff that's going on. So, yeah, I'm going to take a chance and say, you seem troubled, Father. I have been praying for an end to the violence that seems to be becoming all too common in our town, he says. You ask him what he means. Did you hear about that shootout between members of the Sheldon and O'Banion gangs a couple of weeks back? Several people were killed, including one of my parishioners, Lulu Haverford, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We held Lulu's funeral here at the chapel last Sunday. There was an unfortunate altercation at the funeral. The priest continues, Lulu's sister Beatrice got upset when a close friend of Lulu's, Alice Luxley, arrived to pay her respects. Beatrix blames Alice for Lulu's death and shouted at Alice to leave, which she reluctantly did. tried to reach out to Alice to comfort her, offer her comfort, but she refused. And now Min's gonna get one more clue. She's got 6 clues. I may just have to send her back to this fight. Because, my God, she could just re-roll like the Dickens. Alright. Well, that could have been some relevant information. It appears that I suspect Alice is taking the whole death of Lulu personally, and it feels like Alice is behind it somehow. We just have to figure out where she is. I may need to go get her address from the waitress after all. Anyway, I don't think we're going to use the last point. I want to ask Father Paul one more time, outright, what else do you know about the murder? So that will conclude this fairly abysmal investigator phase. So on to one more terrible mythos phase. Here we go. Some more happen at the warehouse. The lights flicker and then go out. Place darkness in each space in the chapel and printing press. This mythos event affects each investigator in a space containing darkness. That's gonna be everybody. This is just marvelous. Okay. Darkness here, which means even if our guys did have clues, oh boy, they wouldn't be able to use them. Alright, what does everybody have to do? A low groan sounds from beneath your feet. We will need to, everybody's going to have to test their will and get 2 successes. Okay. Min. And first, she has a will of 3. Okay. If you pass, you convince yourself that it is just the house settling suffer 1 face-down horror. So even if we pass, we're going to take a face-down horror. Finn is probably going to go bonkers this turn. Because he may in fact fail this check entirely, because he's got, well, okay, he's got a will of 4. It's down 1 because of his frayed nerves, so he's only going to roll 3. He is still righteous, which will not help. He has failed. If you fail, you become convinced some abomination lurks in the darkness nearby. Suffer 1 horror, face up, and move 1 space away from the chapel. Well, he can't move away from the chapel. And he's also going to get hysteria. You scream and scream and scream. You slap yourself as hard as you can, hoping to break the cycle. Flip 1 damage face up, then flip this card face down. He does have 1 damage, but it was a minor injury, so it goes back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has a single sanity left, which he is almost certainly going to lose when the hunting horror does when he has to do a horror check. Oof. This has gone downhill extremely quickly. Alright, Harvey has a will of 4. Nothing is messing up. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Earlier, he should have actually flipped this card over 1 more time because of his paranoia. He ended his turn in range of someone else. Whoop. Minor shock. Whoop. Back. Alright, so... Whoops. Harvey succeeded. So he still takes a face down horror. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's at 5 horror, which leaves him at 4 sanity. And then the hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with the most items. That's going to be Finn, because he has 1, 2, 3, or he has 6 items, as opposed to Harvey's 2. So it's going to move back over here, and it's going to attack Finn. The creature lashes out with 2 rope-like limbs, grabbing hold of your arms and possessions. Suffer 2 damage, negating with agility. Agility is 3. Nothing messing that up. Oh wait, he suffered horror, didn't he? He's no longer righteous. Damn it. Really, probably gonna need that. Really need 2 successes here. Oh, thank God. Good, because for every damage he'd suffered, he'd have to drop an item. Don't want that. So we gotta waste time picking it up. Alright, and now, yep, it's time for the horror check, which will affect both our guys. How can such a monster exist? It flutters on wings too small to support its bulk, sliding sinuously through spaces where it should not fit. Its every movement sends a terrible thrill running down your spine. We're going to try to negate it with will -1, suffering 3 horror. Okay, let's do Harvey first, because he'll be more straightforward, because Finn is going to go insane. Okay, will of 4 for Harvey. He actually blocked all 3. Way to go, Harv. Then, this is not good, Finn has a will of 4, but that's -1 check, so that's 3. And he has frayed nerves, which drops it by 1 more, which makes it 2. So even if he is totally successful here, he'll get 1 horror. Failed anyway, which, yes, so he suffers 3 horror. So I'll resolve the effects for this, and then we're going to get rid of all of it, because he is halfway to totally insane. Well, he's going to be just outright insane. Just not defeated. So, okay, what have we got? Minor shock, mediocrity. Will never matter what you do, because people like you can never become heroes. You cannot improve any skill. That's fine. You feel something sinister take root within your mind. Become mesmerized, then flip this card face down. So he's going to be stuck being mesmerized. We can't stop that. I just grabbed one at random. At the end of your turn, an alien will takes control. Flip this card. Oh, but that takes him past the maximum. So those all go away. That's the good news. Bad news is he also becomes insane. So we're going to shuffle this, and these will be all the ones that are for specifically for 1 player or more. Look at the back. Well, okay. Regular weapons are useless against the powers that have aligned against you, arcane aspirations. The only thing that can keep you safe from otherworldly harm is otherworldly protection. You do not win the game as normal. Instead, you win only if the investigation is complete and you have 1 or more spells, otherwise you lose the game. So if we want to properly win the game with everyone, we're going to have to give our spell to Finn. Putting some cards back here. On the other hand, he doesn't have any of the horror cards, so it's going to end that and move into an investigator phase. Right, that goes into his area. So if he loses his sanity once more, game over. We just outright lose. Alright, just going to think for a second here. Yeah, those turns might have been a little long, but I still want to do a third turn. I want to just deal with this damn thing. I want it gone. So, again, like last time, I'm going to have Harvey go first in hopes that he can take it out enough that Finn can maybe do a little bit of looking at the stuff. Because I think it's probably quite important. So Harvey will attack the hunting horror with his firearm. Oh God. And of course the worst possible check. Your pounding heart makes your hands tremble as you line up your shot. Gonna test his agility, which is a lousy 2. And we need 2 successes. No. Alright, and because he took an attack action, oh yeah, we now have 2 of these. I don't know what the other one was. It was face down, so... Okay, it's a minor shock. Don't know if that was the card I already had or if it's a new one. Hopefully. If you fail, you nearly drop your weapon in panic. Well, at least it was only nearly. Okay, Harvey's going to try again. Same check. Awesome. With the beast squarely in your sights, you open fire. Rolling 2 dice, we need successes on the dice. Nope. We have no clues, couldn't use them in the dark. Anyway. Okay, well, first of all... I have totally lost count. Minor shock. Okay. If you fail, you miss wildly. You miss wildly, despite your careful aim, as if the creature was not where it seemed to be. Suffer 1 face-down horror. This is the worst fight ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Harvey is down to 3 sanity. This is an absolute fiasco. Okay. Finn. If we don't kill it, I don't care. Min is coming back. Because she's got all the clues. So maybe she can not screw this up. Finn. Please, for the love of God. Hit it. You plant your feet, hold your weapon steady in both hands, and say a silent prayer. Test agility 2... It's apparently the only skill check we can do against this thing. Is agility 2 successes. At least Finn has... Shoot. Right, Harvey's paranoia kicks in. He's got... Okay. Paranoia kicks in, so we turn one over, minor shock. Chances are one of those is not a minor shock. Okay. Back to Finn. We desperately need 2 successes, which we don't get. Awesome. If you fail, you are shaking too much to shoot accurately. So we will try again. Maybe we can get a different... Okay. This one doesn't suck. Your weapon erupts as every fiber of your being pulls to be away from the terrible creature. It's that thing where we're going to roll his agility +2, and each success is a hit. So please, we need 3. 1. Monster is still around. Okay. Min, your turn. Head this way. Okay, Min, somehow sensing that Finn and Harvey are flailing about like idiots and not being able to do anything, is going to move 1, 2, and then move 1, 2, because they clearly need her help. Which means we are going into one more Mythos phase. Hopefully Harvey won't go insane. Okay, one last, probably disastrous Mythos phase for the episode. Your hand suddenly begins to burn. This Mythos event affects the investigator who has a light source with the lowest observation. We only have one light source, that's Min. So now bad things are going to happen to her. Perfect. Resolve event. The fire from your light has spread. Oh god, we're going to set fire. Has spread to your hand. You instinctively drop what you were holding and clutch your wounded hand. Suffer 2 face down damage and drop 1 random light source. There we go. Face down damage at least. Before you realize it, the fire has spread all around you. Place fire in your space and each adjacent space. Oh my god. Man, this escalated wildly. We will not be able to put out all these fires. We just won't. Yeah, sorry. You people should probably get out of the diner because it's I'm pretty sure I have just lost this entire scenario. This is absolutely appalling. The sound of a police siren in the distance catches your attention. You would rather not have to answer questions about your investigation, so you decide you had better make haste back home until the end of the next before they arrive. You have only until the end of the next investigator phase to finish what you were doing before you must head home to avoid the police. Wow. Okay. Does that mean we're going to lose? Okay, the hunting horror moves 3 spaces towards the investigator within range with the highest lore. That is going to be Harvey. Yeah, it's going to attack Harvey. With a piercing shriek, the beast lunges at you. Strength test, 2 successes required. His strength is 3. Fail. If you fail, the creature knocks you down and crushes you with many grasping appendages. Suffer 3 face-down damage and become stunned. 2, 3, which leaves Harvey at 2 health. Wow, it's suddenly turned. This thing is crushing us. It's been an absolute disaster. What the hell is happening? And stunned. And now, of course, it's horror check time. Because our guys can't roll for beans. The creature's keening cry rises all around you. Suffer 3 face-down horror, negating with will. Okay. Finn at least has his 4 will back. Alright, he's going to take 2 face-down horror. If you suffer 1 or more horror, it seems the haunting notes, oh crap, I just realized something, become physical things, binding you to the ground, become restrained. I forgot. Sorry, I'm messing this turn up very, very badly. That's because everything is hammering us. I totally forgot about mesmerized at the end of Finn's turn. These things are so heavy, they are weighing you down. You must get rid of them immediately. Dead weight. Suffer one face down horror unless you drop an item, then discard this card. Now we're going to get rid of that, and God's sake, I keep forgetting about his gambler's dice. I wonder if I've screwed myself over big time here. Okay, we're going to drop the pocket watch, because useless. Okay, so instead of those horror, okay, back up, rewind, because I don't know what I'm doing. That was his roll. We're going to try to use his gambler's dice. Is we convert one of these to a blank. Yeah, convert a clue roll to a blank to re-roll everything else. And no, it made no difference. So he still takes the 2 horror and is in fact restrained. And the worst Mythos phase ever. Wow, we are screwed. Especially if we've only got one more turn to finish this. Well, I don't get what can we possibly do in one turn before the police arrive? Okay. Sorry if I'm coming across cranky. I'm just frustrated by like 90% bad rolls and getting absolutely nothing done. There's going to be fire, and we've got a turn left to do something. So next episode might be the last one, because everything has gone horribly wrong. But we'll see next time. Thanks very much everybody for watching my ongoing frustration. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos on YouTube and Board Game Geek. I appreciate it, and we will see you next time for yet another round of Mansions of Madness 2nd edition. So long.